Hi everyone, welcome to Raise to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite-sized wisdom nuggets with easy-to-follow practices to live a better life. Raise to Rise podcast is supported by Ayurvedic Seva. Ayurvedic Seva is an herbal dietary supplement line set out to change the industry by dedicating the company to quality, safety, and holistic approach on making the wellness journey safe, healthy, and natural. If you want to start adding some natural herbs in your life, then head over to ayurvedicseva.com and use our promo code RAISE2RISE for 30% discount. Once again, it's ayurvedicseva.com and use our promo code RAISE2RISE for 30% discount. I am your host, Mittal Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living. Hey, hello, welcome everyone. This is your host, Mittal Patel, and today we're welcoming our second coach. We're welcoming Amritha, who is a success life coach. She works with individuals to explore their hidden potentials and inner power to become the best version of themselves. And no matter what stage of life you are at, she believes that there is always room for improvement, development, and growth. She's from Indian heritage, raised in Dubai, and also have resided in Bangalore, California for a few years. And currently she resides in Metro Vancouver, a beautiful British Columbia in Canada. In short, she has experienced diversity in her life. By education, she's a forensic scientist, worked as a researcher, molecular biologist, and now as a quality control specialist. Well, first of all, welcome to our show, Amritha. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for your time and efforts and to coming to our show. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Mittal. I am so excited and happy to be here. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Yes, no, and the one thing that I loved how you've experienced diversity and being in different culture, you've surrounded yourself. But I love the fact that you work as a quality control specialist. Hey, amen to that. We're same people. High five to that.
High five.
we're both. So we both met in our school, Jay Shetty Certification School, and we both are. We both studied coaching with under Jay's umbrella. And the reason I'm bringing all my fellow coaches here is to inspire you out there. So even if you're not a parent, to be a parent, that you can go for your passion and say yes to a passion and do whatever you want to do. Like Amritha herself, she's a full-time quality control specialist, but she went to become a coach and she started this journey. So Amritha, I really want to ask, now that we know enough about you, that you are a full-time employee as well as pursuing your passion, tell us about your coaching journey and why did you become a coach?
So it all started last year. I wanted to become an independent business owner and I was looking for options. And at that time, I used to consistently listen to Jay Shetty's podcasts and other podcasts as well, On Purpose and others. And I heard about a school and I was just exploring it, and becoming a coach just dawned on me. I remember among my friends, I used to always be the one who was level-headed, strong, and who always comes up with the best decisions and solutions and motivates and peps them up. And even within my family, amongst my little cousins, I always feel like I'm the one who's there to help them, advise them, and but it's not always possible because everyone's now living in different parts of the world. And when I heard about becoming a coach through the school, I felt what better way to explore my next career option.
Oh, amazing. I love that how you were so consciously aware what you want to do, and that you want to serve and help other bring the solutions out and live their better version of themselves. And I love your niche as well, actually, that you've been in that profession and now you want to help others be their better version of themselves and guide them to be successful. That motivation of business, tell us a little bit about that whole business thing that spiraled in you.
Yeah, so I read a few books a couple of years back, or maybe just last year, I think, and it was all about being independent, like being independent in the sense that you are in control of your time, and
Mm.
you don't have to. So you know how we have like our 9 to 5 job, so
Mm-hmm.
somebody else is controlling our time, right? Because
For
if you want to
sure.
do something in the morning, or I want to do something in the evening, I have to always be like, no, I have to go to work first, and then depending on how much energy or how much time I have, I decide
Mm-hmm.
other things. And we are also dependent on our work for the money that we get, like the salary and like a
Mm-hmm.
financial part of our life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading these books, and I just found out, okay, there are ways to become financially independent, and maybe having your own business, and that's a way of like being responsible for the money that's coming
Mm-hmm.
in, like on your own, and not being dependent on somebody else. So yeah, so that's what I thought, let me try doing something different and try starting a business. Not that I have a knowledge about business, but I thought,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me explore. And then the school, like I said, I discovered the school, and I was like, okay, let me try this and see where it takes me.
What do you like about being a coach now then?
So this is the best part. What I like about being a coach is that, so right now it hasn't taken off as a full-time
Right.
job or anything. So it's not like giving me so much income that I'm an independent business owner yet.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about being a coach is that I'm able to tap into people's potential and strengths that they are not aware of.
Mm.
Everyone has it, and they know it probably, but they're not able to like use it for their improvement and for their betterment. And
Mm.
I'm just like, I tap in the right way, or I feel confident that I can do that. And that's the best part I feel of a coach.
Oh,
Like I
that's
can tap into that, I can get them to realize it or be aware of it and use it for their improvement and for their strengths, to
I
grow.
love that. I love that point that you brought in, that you're confident enough to tap into somebody else's strengths and potentials, because a lot of time we're not aware of our own strengths, and it's not until a teacher sees in us, or a coach now, as in adulthood, a coach or a therapist sees that what you're capable of. Because by the time we're in our adulthood, we literally forget to live our lives, and we're like all in the auto zone, and just going into this rut of 9 to 5 and surviving mode, that we
Yeah.
forget that we're born to thrive and not just survive. So I love your niche and how you're helping others tap. Tell us, so of course, having 8 to 5 is, and then studying is not easy. Tell us a bit about like the barriers or obstacles that you faced prior to getting onto this journey.
Yeah. So prior to this journey, honestly, there wasn't any obstacle I faced as such. I would just say that my awareness was my obstacle, because
Mm,
I wasn't aware that these things existed,
mm,
right? So it's just that I didn't have that awareness. And when I was introduced a lot of information that got, like, I was introduced to the lot of information from these podcasts and the things that I was reading for the past
mm-hmm,
couple of years,
mm-hmm.
especially about the 3 C's that we talk about in school, right? The 3 C's, like coaching,
Cool.
community,
Mm-hmm,
consistency.
mm-hmm.
So once I became aware of this, that's it. That's how I figured out I could tackle and pursue what I wanted to. So, yeah.
I love that most of the time we actually don't realize that our awareness is the obstacle. Like when somebody is saying like what were the barriers or obstacles, we often have the excuse ready that it was my financial freedom, or it was the lack of time, or it was the energy management. But how you're saying that it was my own awareness, you're like literally taking us to that inner journey of yours. So I love how how you were now, actually, at least I should say that you are aware that your awareness was the obstacle in prior to starting your journey. How about now?
Yeah.
If I may ask, like, what's the obstacle, or a barrier that you're facing currently as a coach, if there are any?
I don't see anything as an obstacle, but I would just say that there are a lot of things that I need to work on, which
Mm,
is in terms of like setting up a business. I need to manage more of my time and energy into setting that
mm,
up. So an obstacle I would say is probably time or energy, because I just
mhm.
find myself exhausted doing all these other things
For
in the day.
sure.
So yeah, so it's just about time and energy management, and then putting it in the right place to set up the
Well, what this
business.
what this brings out the point, and I really want to share with our listeners, that we coaches are not perfect either. We're
Yeah.
all work in progress. We're all working towards we are caring, and I am still a 9 to 5 person, 8 to 5 person, so I can speak for this as well, that we are trying to balance. We are, we have our surviving mode, but we are also looking to thrive, and we're always working in progress and looking for ways to improve ourselves. And we consider, not obstacles, but we consider that as a learning opportunities and move on. So thank you for sharing that. So can you share like the factors that you think will help you achieve your personal or professional aspirations, like, setting up a business?
So there are multiple factors,
Mm,
obviously.
yeah, of
So
course.
one would be planning. So knowing your goal
Mm,
and when I want to achieve it. So it's
mm-hmm,
just like how we have in our professional life as have a SMART goal. So that's
mm-hmm,
like being specific, measured, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
mm-hmm,
That goes for both personal and professional goals. So
mm-hmm,
that's one of the factors, planning. And the second factor is consistency. So that would be consistency not only in my daily habits, but also
mm-hmm.
consistency in my actions and working towards it.
Mm. No, I like how you brought up the point of SMART goals, because most of the time we'll have yeah, I want to have a business by, 2021. But if we don't plan, that's not going to work. So I
Yeah.
love that, that's your main factor, that you are focusing on, setting the SMART goals, you're focusing on the planning
Yeah.
and
And it's not just planning, but we should also do a
take
consistent action
action.
towards achieving that, right? Because
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Most of the and I mean, I've done it certainly, most certainly in back in the days, that yeah, I have goals and everything, but then what about the action? Who's going to take the action? Nobody
yeah.
else is going to come in the picture and paint the,
It's like New Year's resolutions, right? Everyone says, "Oh yeah, this is my resolution or this is my plan," but
and
are we
that's
doing
why,
it?
because right, and I talk about this all the time too, and I love this research that has been stuck with me, that when we don't plan and we just have these resolutions and goals, 92% of us who set the goals and don't take the action, we fail. We like
Yep.
literally chicken out, or we literally drop out of our resolutions and the goals by end of the January. So it's like by next week, 92% of us who had the goals, and if we're not taking the consistent action, we're going to drop out. But if
Yeah,
we want to
for
be in
sure.
that 8%, we have to do the plannings. We have to be consistent, have to take the consistent actions in order for us to achieve those goals. And I always talk about it, and that research has been stuck with me for past 2 years, that I must take the action. Otherwise it's just not gonna move. So I love your two factors that you're like really focusing on.
Yeah.
So if we now, because you talked about the planning and the business, you must be, you have your client avatars and everything. Who do you work with? Like, who do you prefer to work with?
Mittal, before we jump onto that question, I had two more factors that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay. Okay, hold on.
It'll be quick. So, apart from the planning consistency, the two other things that I wanted, the factors I wanted to share was one is to gain knowledge and resource that we need to make an informed decision. So,
Mm,
if we don't have, like I said, right, when you're not aware that you're not aware, like you need to be aware of you not being aware. So, if you need
yes.
for the knowledge and the resource that you need to have to make that decision. And the other factor is feedback. That is feedback from our mentors, from our coaches, from our managers, peers, friends, family. That would help us to give like a constructive criticism or a constructive feedback towards achieving that personal or professional goal. So yeah, those are my 2 cents that I wanted to add on to the factors.
Yeah. So if I wanna, just summarize that. So first you said the planning of,
Yeah,
the goals, the SMART goals. And
yeah,
then second you said it's about the consistent actions, because without actions nothing's gonna work.
yeah.
And the third you said was about
The knowledge
the
and the
knowledge,
resource.
the resources that we really, because if we're not aware, then how are we going to take the actions, or
Exactly.
how
Yeah,
are we even going to know our goals? And the fourth
yeah,
factor, if you can repeat for
yeah.
us,
It's the feedback, so
is
which
the
is your
feedback.
criticism. Yeah, your constructive
Mm.
criticism that you get from your mentors or your coaches or your teachers, or if it's your personal life, then it would be like family and friends that you can implement or basically work towards your goals.
Yeah. You know what, I love that you said constructive feedback. or constructive criticism, because most of the time we'll say, oh, we're afraid to even ask for feedback because we think, oh, it's negative, oh yeah, and then that can stop us. But I'm glad that you mentioned constructive action. So what Amrita, Coach Amrita, I would say, is saying that the four factors that can help, and I believe that this can help anyone.
Of
What do you
course, yeah.
think, right? Like, planning, taking action, being resourceful, or collecting the resources, doing the research, and then asking for the feedback can actually move the needle up front and help us achieve our aspirations and the dreams and the goals, the
Yeah.
vision, if I may say. About the feedback, what's the difference? Or if you personally had a constructive feedback, how do you take it?
I used to probably take it pretty badly before, but then obviously with knowledge and like knowing that, feedback is essential for our growth and for getting better at whatever you do, whether it's in our personal life or at work. Now I take it pretty well. Like
All right.
maybe at that point I would feel like, oh no, like I didn't do a good job.
Oh
Like it can
yeah.
be anything, right? About if it's at work, you'll be like, oh no, I made that mistake again or something like that. But now I'm handling it pretty well. Like I take a feedback and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a good thing.
I
So
I want to point this out, that now you're taking it well. It's because you made sure that your third factor was resourceful. You're collecting that
yeah,
knowledge and you're taking it,
exactly.
taking it from that perspective, like, okay, how can I make it better? So
Yep.
yes, I love that point. Now we've heard about your factors that can help you, and of course that can help us move our needle in that, in towards our aspirations. Who do you work with? If, let's say, who can reach out to you?
Yeah.
Who are the people that you work with?
Yeah, so I currently work with young professionals who
Mm.
find themselves burned out from their career or their monotonous routine, to break out of the chains and strive to focus and achieve what they really want, or where they really want to put most of their energy into.
So basically you're helping young professionals, like, hey, burnt out professional, I'll raise my hand. And you basically take us from the awareness journey towards helping us find out what we really want to achieve. That is a wonderful niche to work with, first of all, because there are so many young professionals. We don't know what we're doing and we don't know what career path we want to choose, and we feel like we're stuck, and getting that, hence we are burnt out because we don't enjoy what we're doing. So I love your niche, actually. It's
Thank
a
you.
great work that you're doing, because a lot of people need you at the moment. A lot of people can benefit from your services. So I hope if you're one of those guys, if you're one of those, reach out to Amrita. We're going to share all her details in the show notes, so you can reach out, directly reach out to her. You can DM her, email her. We'll leave all the details about her, the way she likes to reach out. Now that we're talking about, reaching out, can you share your current projects, and what are you currently offering us?
So it's a journey. It's going to be a journey of personal development. Like I am still on a journey of personal
Mm.
development. I have after completing the school, I've signed up on various classes online, and I'm currently working on also building my coaching practice to attract
Mm-hmm.
more clients, and working on learning and implementing my marketing and business strategies. So yeah, so if you ask me what my current projects is, this is my project. Like I'm still on a journey of personal development. I'm still learning about my coaching practice and about coaching itself and other various aspects of my life. So
So
yeah,
basically, Coach Amrita is saying that there's no ending to our learnings. We
yeah,
are learning, and even though we're now certified coaches, that doesn't end our journey right there. We're still learning. We're still, like, there's so much to learn, and there's
yeah,
so much growth to be made. We are still evolving,
yeah,
as a human being, as a coach, as a fellow coaches. We're still evolving. And so I love that you're at least you are admitting that that's what you're working on. And I basically, I love your project because that's what I'm doing at the moment as well.
awesome.
And
That's
so,
great.
if you have to share words of wisdom and your message to someone who's afraid to say yes to their passion, because you're also 8 to 5, 8 to 5, If somebody's stuck in their 8 to 5, and if they're afraid to say yes, what would you tell them?
We have only one life. And if we don't try to pursue our passion, we wouldn't know how it turned out, right? I believe that if we put our energy, the right things will happen and that there's no need to fear. So, this is where I would like to bring the famous law of attraction from quantum
Mm.
physics, which Mira
Mm-hmm.
always talks about.
Yeah.
If we work towards our passion, putting in the right energy,
Mm-hmm.
we will attract what we want to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
by putting in the right energy doesn't mean that we are overworking to a point where we feel like burnt or stressed out, because those are negative energies.
Mm-hmm.
We want to work towards our goal with the right mindset without any
Mm-hmm.
negative emotions. And then we will see things will start to happen the way we want, like magic.
I love that. Of course, science and us, we're friends. So we're talking
Yep.
about quantum physics here,
Yes.
and according to quantum physics, also it's all about what we're putting out. And I love law of attraction, that, and how you mentioned that negative energy, because burnt out is a negative energy, and if
Yep.
you put that energy, then that's what you're gonna get. So it's better to raise our consciousness. It's better to raise our and go towards the energy that we want to put it in. And I love the fact that you mentioned that we have one life, and this is the life, this is the chance that we're given. Let's take advantage of it, right? I
Yeah.
love those wisdom of words that you're sharing with us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for sharing your insights with us. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention to us and I didn't get a chance to ask you?
What is that I would like to share? Yeah, I would like to share one piece of wisdom again.
Mm.
It's just that, so you were asking me about what do we tell someone, like what's the message that I want to give to someone who's afraid to say yes to their passion, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not just that fear that they have to say yes to their passion. Sometimes it's also important that we seek to know what is our inner core values. Like we might have a
Mm.
passion to do something, but we should always check to see, does that passion align with our core values? Because
Yes.
like when I say core values, for example, I would say is, just so that everyone who's listening understands
Yeah.
what core value is, like core value could be love and gratitude and simplicity and
Mm-hmm.
honesty. But
Mm-hmm.
whereas if you choose a passion which does not fall in that umbrella,
Mm-hmm.
you might, yeah, you will achieve your passion or you will achieve your goal, but will you, in the long run, are you going to be happy and content with yourself? Maybe not, because your core values are not aligned, right? So
Mm.
that's another thing that I would like to share with everyone, if you guys are listening. Yeah.
Of
It's, yeah.
course, of course. I really love that. That's one of the things that we learned as a coach as well, right? Like
Yeah.
we have to align our core values to what
Yeah.
we're doing.
What are we doing? Yeah.
And if that doesn't align with our values, then doesn't matter what we do or how hard we work. And even if we achieve it, we're not going to feel that fulfillment. We're not going to feel that it's something that meaningful that we're doing. So
Yeah.
thank you for, no, yeah, go ahead. You had something else for
Oh,
us?
I was just going to say that that all aligns with the part where we were talking about earlier about being aware, because
Yes.
only if we are aware, we will know what our core values are, and then
Yes.
only we can assess if our goals are actually meeting or falling in line with our core values.
It's
So
it's
yeah,
funny that
it all boils down to awareness.
exactly. I was just gonna. It's funny that you mentioned that again. That we started because that was your first. You
My
started with,
obstacle.
right, your
Yeah.
obstacle. That it's your own awareness that was the barrier into what you're about to do, and it's ending with, hey, are you aware of your core values? Are you
Yeah.
aware that this passion aligns with your values? That's what we need to look for, and that's
Yeah.
how, like, when you're consciously aware of what aligns with your value,
Yeah.
that's when you can
Hmm.
achieve that success as your niche as a success coach. That's what Coach Amrita guides us. So if you're one of those who really want to understand, who really want to get that awareness of their core values, of the passion alignment, or feeling burnt out and don't know what are your strengths and potentials, then reach out to Coach Amrita. And we're going to leave all the details about her in our show notes. And she is your girl to get you off the floor and just, get those wings up and start flying. Thank you so much, Amrita. I really, really appreciate, for your energy, for your words of wisdom. I love your words of wisdom. And I loved learning about, your obstacle. That was my favorite part, by the way. It's still stuck with me how you didn't take any materialism, and you talked about your inner self. So thank you for your time, your energy, and just being with us. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mittal, for having me, taking your time out and having me over here and letting me share my experiences. I'm really grateful.
Oh,
And
thank
sending you and sending everyone out there listening lots of love.
All right, so that's one of her core value. We can say that she's sending us love. Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you.
sending love.
We appreciate it, and sending you love right back. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to Raise to Rise podcast. We would absolutely love to hear your thoughts about today's episode. Please let me know you have listened to this episode and fill me with your aha moment. Share it on Instagram, tag me with hashtag Raise to Rise or at Raise to Rise, and I would love to share those to my stories and shout you out there. I would also love if you can subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It's our brand new podcast launch, and we have some bonus giveaways going on for the top raters and reviewers. Also, I would love to send you my 7-day parenting journal absolutely for free. All you gotta do is leave me a review in the iTunes store, take a screenshot, and email it over at raisetorisepodcast@gmail.com. Again, take a screenshot of the review and email me at raisetorisepodcast@gmail.com, and I will send you the 7-day parenting journal absolutely for free. Thank you so much for being the active listener of this podcast. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for raising your consciousness and rising as joyful beings.